10 minutes past the New York Stock Exchange market open. As you can see, we are in the NASDAQ trade right now on the 1 minute time frame. Let's just go over on the laptop. Let me explain. You can see this zone right over here, right? So the New York session opened at this level and dropped down. But right now we're at the close of the Asian session, the low of the Asian session. Now the market is retesting the Asian low for the first time during the New York session, right? So I'm expecting to see a little bit of a retracement on this part here. I want to go into a little scalp. Remember, I said I want to trade during the New York session for this particular week, and my analysis is on the 15-minute time frame. I'll drop to the 1 minute time frame so that I can have a good in and out when I see a nice candlestick, right? So that's what we're gonna do. My stop loss will be right below this level, and the first take profit is not going to be crazy because I'm not targeting a really large point, right? So that's it, right? Let's just wait for this trade to play out. Nothing too complicated. All right, so we are 3 minutes in, and I can see that the market is, kind of like acting up. Now, if I have this candlestick dropping below this level, dropping below the Asian session low that I'm talking about, and then closes outside of that, this whole setup is broken and invalidated, right? So right now it's just playing around. Let's just wait and see how it actually plays out, but it should play out good because this is just a quick scalp. Ooh, yeah, it keeps dropping, but then that's okay. All right, there we go. The candlestick tried to retrace, but it did not close outside of the level that I was looking at. And right now we should see, momentum pushing the market to the upside. So you should know your levels, right? So after I backtested a lot, I know that the market, when it gets to the Asian low, the London high or the New York low and stuff like that, we always see, retracements most of the times. It normally taps on those levels and retraces. You can backtest that and test it out for your own self. Yes, it's going for our take profit. Oh, I was too late. I want to shift the take profit a little higher. I was a little too late. Okay, then that means I am taking out, all of the trades are out right now. I wanted to shift the take profit a little higher so that I could, shift the stop loss into profit and then hold the trade for longer. But then that's good. That's a good quick session. That is what I mean when I'm talking about trading, the New York session. I don't want to stay in for long. So we only traded this for barely 10 minutes and we're already out of this trade. That was a good trade, quick in and out, catch the market when there is volatility, get the good sniper entry trade that you're always looking for. All right, so that's a quick scalp that I had right there. So obviously this, I can't drop a scalping, quick in and out signal because it's a quick in and out, type of thing. So right now we have to look for a signal for the inner circle. Let's just go also on US30. NASDAQ is just playing around. It doesn't really have something good. On US30, we see this level, right? We have a support area here, and on the 4-hour time frame, you can clearly see how the buyers have stepped into this market, right? And also on the 1-hour time frame, we have a resistance level where the market currently is. Now, this is a good setup for swing trade. So I'm going to go into this trade on a larger account where I'll just take 2 trades and hold it for a long time. I know that, the stop loss is large, so I don't expect the market to move really fast for today, but I'll wait for a day signal to give in the inner circle, right? But let me just do a little analysis so I can see if I can get a good trade, right? So we're going to mark up our support resistance. Obviously, I want to enter at this area where the market is breaking out, but then let me just see the stop loss for the inner circle. That would be too large of a stop loss because I prefer to always cater for, all the resistance areas when I put a stop loss. Remember, stop loss is placed at a spot that if the market gets to that level, that means you're wrong on the particular setup. So I want to put my stop loss where I know that, okay, for the setup, I'm totally wrong. So I'm going to put my stop loss a little lower, outside of this level. And then I would rather miss the trade than have my stop loss hit, right? So as you can see, nothing in the inner circle yet. It's Monday. Let's make some money. I haven't dropped a signal yet. So we're going to just wait and see how the market plays out. If it plays out well, drops down to that level, then I'm going to give it as a signal, a buy US30, because it looks really good. I expect it to drop down to that spot. So we're going to wait a few hours and we'll come back later and see. All right, guys, so we are back and US30 has done nothing but miss my limit order, right? So it did not actually tap on the limit that I was looking for. But right now what I can see is we have a zone that is acting as a liquidity zone at the top there, right? It's acting as a magnet to draw this US30 chart towards it. So I already know that US30 has to go to that level because of the number of touches that we are having at this spot, right? So The moment we have another touch at that spot, it means that USD is going to break out. But right now, the only problem that I'm having is I can't give a signal with such a large stop loss. So the positions that I entered earlier in the larger account are the only ones that are in profit right now. But the day is almost over and I did not get a trade for Monday. It seems as if we're going to close off Monday with no trade, because the market, I can't chase the market, right? If it has not yet come to me, I'll have to wait for it. Let's see what Tuesday actually brings for us, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Good morning, beautiful traders. How you guys doing? I'm doing absolutely lovely. It's a beautiful Tuesday, and I've just gone on my charts right now. Looking at US30, it did not eventually drop to my position that I wanted, right? So what I'm going to be looking at for today, I just want to do a little quick analysis. I want US30 to drop to this level, right? So it's early morning right now. I'm going to just drop in the free signal group this setup because it looks really good, so that anyone who would want to trade can actually just join us here, because this is the everyday setup that I always explain on this channel. You have a breakout, you want to wait for a retest. So if I send the setup, anyone that watches these videos already know what to expect. A retest, look at price action at this level and then just simply take the trade. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop this. My thought process for yesterday, I patiently waited for US30. Let me just update them. But let's go over to the NASDAQ. You already know that we trade the NASDAQ. Ooh, now if you are new to the channel, welcome. We trade the NASDAQ over here. If you're returning, welcome back. You already know what's up. Don't forget to hit that like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. Right now, looking on to the NASDAQ on the daily time frame, we do have a nice old bullish candlestick at a support area, right? The market had broken out of a resistance. It has now been turned into a support. At that level, we are seeing a little indecision candlestick, but right now we see good momentum at the NASDAQ, right? So according to our weekly analysis, I said that we wanted to see the NASDAQ consolidating at that level. So it might not really push up to the top today, but since it showed us good bullish movement last night or yesterday, it means that today we might see something really nice too, right? So I'm going to drop the same setup in the free group, and I will probably get a good trade also on the NASDAQ for the inner circle, right? At least 100 pips or something like that. So let me just make a rough analysis for the day on the NASDAQ. Let me just show you guys how I do my analysis for the day. On the daily time frame, you can already see that I've made an analysis. I already have the daily bias from yesterday. I saw that the bulls were in control of the market, so the only thing that's left for me now is to go to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, I have a little trend line and also a resistance area at this level, and I also have my point of interest, right? So I already understand that the buyers are in control of this market. I expect them to continue with the upward movement, but then the only thing that's left here is for me to get a good entry point, right? Which is what I want to look for right now. So I'm going to take this position as my point of interest, where I want the market to drop into this level first, and then I'm going to accommodate these little wicks here, and then it will have to move up to the top. But I just don't like this, because these little wicks, when you're seeing them, it always increases your stop loss. I can't just place my stop loss anywhere in this area with these wicks, because there's a chance that the market will want to tap on these wicks and hit my stop loss and go up. So I have to accommodate these wicks. So let's just see as the day goes by how the market will eventually turn out. But that is where I will be looking to buy NASDAQ. So with that, I will see you guys during the New York session, so I can get a little something good for the inner circle also. All right, guys, welcome back. I was actually just thinking I would be productive today, because I do have an exam on Saturday, so I was supposed to be reading, but how it is. But then anyway, it is later in the day, and right now we're looking at the NASDAQ. You can clearly see that it has dropped into our point of interest. Now, a lot of things have been happening on the NASDAQ. For now, we did catch a little nice scalping trade. Well, not really scalping, because we're trading on the 30-minute time frame with the inner circle. So we traded at this area, and it was a really interesting trade. Let me see. So this is where our entry point was. We took one take profit, 40 pips, the second take profit for 95 pips, and I told them to cut out their entries, because I could sense a little retracement that was coming, which it did. It actually then just fell. And then also, this is the point that I was actually anticipating NASDAQ to get to. Now, the thing that I've learned from this trade, right, is patience in trading is key. The funny thing is I gave a limit order on the NASDAQ for this trade, right? I literally gave it in this area that I had marked up. And then I was looking at the charts for too long. Now, the more time you spend looking at the charts, looking at the setup, it's going to start looking like a good setup. You end up forcing yourself to enter a trade that you did not actually want to enter. So what happened here, I ended up changing my limit order and putting it a little lower and giving a trade, a buying, and giving a market order trade at this level. Now, it is something that we normally see on a Monday, right? You see our usual gap right over here, and then I marked that as a point of interest. That is what I was looking at, and the market started to reject in that area. I already know that the buyers are probably starting to step into this market. Then I gave a buying order at the spot. We took 95 pips and then we cut entry. So right now we still have one trade that is running. We just took out a few of the positions and then it is in drawdown because you can see here I told them to cut the entries on the NASDAQ. Now, right now we're just waiting to see if the remaining position that we have will go back into profit or might hit our stop loss, right? But then at the same time I do have 2 mentorship classes. All right, guys, so I'm actually in a mentorship session right now, as you can see over here, and notice how the US30 trade is just respecting this. So we've been in this mentorship session for just less than 30 minutes, right? And I just opened the US30 chart right now, and I'm noticing that it actually just respected our analysis the way we wanted it to, right? It gave us a little retest, good price action, a bullish candlestick after a bearish drop. We see that the buyers did step in at that level, and right now the stop loss would have been the best in these cases, something that is just looking so perfect. So I just thought to give you guys a quick update. So I'll just have one more class and I'll come back and see what the market would have done. We are in one trade, remember, on the NASDAQ. All right, beautiful traders, we are back. As you can see, this was our stop loss on the NASDAQ, but right now we see the last 1 hour or 2 hours ago, the NASDAQ has been playing around. It almost hit our stop loss, right? But then let me just update the free group that the setup. I remember sharing it with everyone, and I hope everyone has caught this beautiful trade. 1 or 2 people would have caught this. And also look at our NASDAQ trade 30 minutes later, just 1 hour later or so. It has gone back. We're almost at break even right now on the NASDAQ. It's almost gone back to our entry point with that one trade, but since it's already late at night, I doubt we'll see a good movement here right now. As I round off this mentorship that I am currently in with Mr. Emmanuel here, as you can see, we're just explaining this NASDAQ trade, how it almost hit our stop loss. All right, guys, so the funniest thing happened, explaining how this NASDAQ trade always went to retest the stop losses and all of those weeks that we're having here. And we finished, the session with a good bullish push to the upside on the NASDAQ. But look at what we are having right now. The NASDAQ really dropped down to my stop loss. Remember, we had one trade that was still running, on the NASDAQ, and it has just been taken out. And I probably think it's going to just move up from here. It normally just does that, right? But then that's it. I think there was a little news event that I was not aware of also that made, the market move with such volatility at this time of the day, which is really late. Remember, the New York session is already done and we're almost going into the Asian session. So I don't even know why the market is so volatile, right? But this is it for Tuesday. I don't think I have anything else to trade today. I don't want to even be on these charts. Gonna have to wait for CPI tomorrow and see what we'll actually get. If it's super nice, we're gonna get a good trade on the NASDAQ. Our US30 trade, I've already given back some of our profits to the market, but I'll still hold the trade because remember we said that we want the market to break outside of that liquidity zone that we're having. But if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button, turn your post notifications, and subscribe to the channel. With that, it's been Tino, and I'll see you in the next lit video. Peace.